about that?
Jon Jones just got a message he couldn't ignore, and it came straight from Alex Pereira, the same man who walked through 2 divisions, took down legends, and now seems to be hunting the biggest name left in the sport. Meanwhile, Sean O'Malley's name is once again in headlines, but not for who you think. Bryce Mitchell, the outspoken Arkansas brawler, says his dream fight would be against City Boy O'Malley, and he wants it to happen at the White House of all places. Country Boy versus City Boy, a fight that sounds more like a movie title than a real matchup, but Bryce swears it would be the biggest event the UFC could ever make. Let's not waste any more time, subscribe to MMA Desk and let's dive right in the video. Alex Pereira's message to Jon Jones wasn't a random post, it felt like a line in the sand. Alex has this calm, ice-cold way of speaking that makes everything hit harder. When he says watch your house, he isn't talking about a front door and a driveway, he's talking about a kingdom. Jon's kingdom. Alex has climbed through 2 divisions with a scary mix of timing, power, and patience. He doesn't swing wild, he doesn't chase, he waits like a hunter who already knows where the prey will step.
Dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous, established champions. So Tom can have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it. My value doesn't lie in belts anymore. I've created something much bigger. I want Pereira.
The video he shared wasn't long or fancy, but it didn't need to be. Fans understood the message right away. Alex is ready to walk into the heavyweight conversation if Jon wants to test him. And that's a big deal because people have been wondering if anyone can make Jon look uncomfortable again. Alex is the kind of striker who changes a fight with 1 clean shot, the kind you don't see until it's too late. That's what he did to other champions. He didn't have to win every second, only the important ones. So when he stares into the camera and throws that warning, it hits. It hints at a fight that would bring 2 very different styles and stories into one cage. Jon's clever, complete game against Alex's cold, precise power. And the part that makes it even more real is how Alex moves. He's not loud, he's not messy, he just shows up and breaks the moment. It makes you ask, if Jon is the king, is Alex the storm? But that wasn't the whole story. Bryce Mitchell took things in a totally different, but strangely entertaining direction. He said his dream fight would be Sean O'Malley, and he wants it at the White House. That sounds wild, but Bryce isn't trolling. He believes City Boy versus Country Boy would be the biggest fight the UFC could put together because it's not just about skill, it's about identity.
O'Malley hasn't even earned that spot. He's used his mouth to get him that spot.
Sean is flashy, he's bright, he's got the hair and the walk and the show. Bryce is rough around the edges, talks straight, and brings a gritty blue-collar energy. The clash sells itself. Style versus substance, or style and substance on both sides, just dressed different? Bryce knows he might have to fight down in the rankings first, because his resume at 135 isn't stacked like the top contenders. He's okay with that. He's thinking long term. He sees a path where his pressure, his toughness, and his ground game could pull Sean into deep water, and he knows calling out Sean gets attention. The White House twist adds spice. It's almost like he wants the fight to feel like a moment in American sports, not just a bout. Would the UFC ever do that? Probably not like that, but the idea makes people talk, and that's step 1. Imagine the build-up. Sean talking slick, Bryce talking bold, both promising to test the other's soul. In a division full of speed and sharp counters, Bryce believes he can slow Sean down, grind, and make the exchanges ugly.
Bryce getting all upset with me, and I said, your dad fucked his sister and made you. Kidding, obviously. And then apparently maybe I wasn't, because he got all offended. And usually if you get offended, that means you're right. So, and then he said he was down to his last 2.
And Sean, with his accuracy and timing, would be hunting for the clean shot that changes everything. The story writes itself, and what happened next would shock everyone. Islam Makhachev stepped into the news with a different kind of heat. He joked and half-challenged fighters by saying some of them needed to come live in Dagestan for 2 or 3 years to learn real wrestling. He even said one big-name star wasn't allowed. For fans, it was funny and sharp at the same time. He wasn't hiding what he believes. Wrestling wins championships. To him, if you want to survive the top levels, you don't just train takedown defense for a camp or 2. You live it, you breathe it, you put it in your bones. When he said certain names needed to come to Dagestan, it felt like a dare wrapped in advice. Like he was saying, if you really want to be great, come and suffer the way we do. The list wasn't just about skill. It was a look into how he judges fighters who already has the base. who still needs the grind, who might never get it. Even the part about not letting a certain star come felt like a wink and a jab at the same time. And people listened because Islam has the resume to talk like that. He's disciplined, he doesn't get drawn into chaos.
Said that you're ready to go up a division. There's a tweet from Ilya Topuria that he can go up the weight and he can beat you with no problem. What do you think about that?
Не знаю, еще столько соперников, и все хотят меня там в первом, во втором раунде финишировать, все говорят об этом, но...
And his control's a kind of slow fire that burns opponents down. The Dagestan line wasn't meant to start a war, it was meant to set a bar. If you want to beat him, you better bring a life's worth of wrestling, not a few weeks of drills. Still, those words stirred the room. Fighters don't like being told to go learn for a couple years. Pride is real. Rivalries grow from comments like these. And this time, those rivalries were already pointing toward one night. Israel Adesanya tossed gasoline on the conversation when he said Jack Della Maddalena could hurt Islam, even stop him, because of the way Jack stands up and forces striking exchanges. Izzy knows the striking game better than almost anyone. When he says a striker is dangerous, people nod. His point was simple. Islam can get a takedown, sure, but for how long? If Jack keeps getting up, keeps making Islam start over, there comes a moment when Islam has to trade. And if he has to trade with a clean, tight boxer like Jack, that's danger. Jack isn't wild. He's smooth in the pocket, quick to reset, and he doesn't waste shots. He's the guy who will touch you early, read how you react, and touch you harder the next time. Izzy also brought up examples other top fighters who got up on Islam, who slipped out of danger long enough to make him think. That's the path he sees for Jack.
Della versus Islam. How are we feeling about that?
I think Della is going to get it done. He's going to knock him out, and I believe it. I just think he's not going to be able to hang with him on the scrambles or when he gets back up. Della is just so stoic. And he just, like you said, focuses on his own game. And when he does that, I really think he's going to get him. And I can't wait till that happens. And wherever it is, I'm going to be there.
Survive the first wave, make the second wave shorter, and then turn the fight into a stand-up test where Jack's timing and combinations can stack damage. It's not about stuffing every takedown. It's about making each one cost more than it gives. That kind of fight drains the wrestler's gas and grows the striker's confidence. And if Jack believes Islam will be at his best stronger without a brutal cut and sharp in the mind, he also believes that's the exact challenge he wants. Beat the best version and the debate ends. Either way, it set a tone for UFC 322. Someone was going to be forced to fight the other man's fight, and the first few stand-ups might tell the whole story. But that wasn't the only name in the wings. Kamaru Usman looked at the same event with a champion's eyes. He said he wanted the winner, and he didn't hide the truth. A fight with Islam would be bigger. That's not a knock on Jack. It's a math problem. Islam versus Kamaru means two pound-for-pound talents from different divisions meeting in the middle. It means legacy talk, not just rankings. Kamaru's take was smart and honest. He said you don't deserve anything in this sport, you earn it. And he believes his last win showed he's still that guy, the one who can walk into a fight and take over the center.
So, do you predict that Islam would win the 70 belt once that fight gets made?
I'm not predicting anything. Like, all I'm saying to you guys is stop sleeping on JDM. Very, very talented. Very, very talented. That's why he's the champion right now. So let's not sleep on him. Islam, of course, is pound for pound, #1. So let's not sleep.
If Islam wins and moves toward welterweight dreams, Kamaru is the gate you have to walk through. He defended that belt 5 times. He understands champions. He understands pace. He understands how to shut down the things people think you can't stop. And he respects how Islam thinks. Islam said he wants to chase records, chase a second belt, and defend it, maybe more times than Kamaru did. That's a real goal, not just talk. It means Islam would be stepping into a division with big wrestlers, strong hips, and long frames. And if you're moving up and talking greatness, you can't skip the hardest names. Kamaru is one of those names. The styles are fascinating. A methodical pressure wrestler with sharp jabs and cage control against a suffocating control artist with sneaky shots and sneaky trips. Both can drown you. The question is whose water is deeper. That's why when Kamaru says, "All right, let's run it," it feels like a promise and a test of everything Islam says he wants to be. And yet even that wasn't the biggest super fight idea floating around. Khabib Nurmagomedov stepped in with a take that made waves. He believes Islam versus Ilya Topuria could be the biggest fight in the sport right now. Think about why. Ilya is young, fearless, and loves to prove people wrong. He is sharp on the feet, strong in the scramble, and fights with a kind of try-me energy that fans love. Islam is the opposite kind of storm, quiet, exact, never in a rush. When Khabib talks about their bond, it's not just teammate talk. He calls Islam a brother. They've known each other since they were kids. Their families know each other. They trained under the same coach and built a mindset that doesn't bend in tough moments. That matters when you face someone like Ilya, who tries to pull you into a hot, fast fight. Khabib's point is simple. This matchup isn't just about belts or names. It's about two auras. It's the undefeated spirit of Ilya's rise against the cold, steady mountain that is Islam's game. And the heat around it is huge because both fan bases believe. Ilya's fans believe he will stand up, stuff enough shots, and land the kind of punch that changes everything. Islam's fans believe no one can keep him off for long, and once he gets his grips, the fight tilts and never tilts back. When Khabib says something is bigger than even the heaviest of heavyweights, he's not chasing clout. He's pointing at the moment the sport is in. The new names are here, the old guard is still strong, and the best fights are the ones that answer big questions in simple ways. Can Ilya solve the grip? Can Islam cool the fire? And if the UFC lines that up, the night will feel heavy before the first punch lands. Which brings us back to the main thing that pulled all these threads together, UFC 322, and everything it set in motion. UFC 322 isn't just another event, it feels like a turning point. Alex Pereira's warning to John Jones, Bryce Mitchell's call out of Sean O'Malley, and Islam Makhachev's challenge to the whole roster all tell the same story. The power balance in MMA is shifting. The legends are being tested, the new stars are rising, and everyone wants to prove their style is the future. From Dagestan's cold mountains to the bright lights of Las Vegas, every fighter is fighting for more than a win, they're fighting for a legacy. Alex is chasing greatness beyond his division, Sean O'Malley is fighting to stay the face of the new era, and Islam is building his case as one of the best to ever do it. These rivalries aren't just about belts, they're about pride, culture, and the hunger to be remembered. As fans, we're lucky we get to watch it unfold, one headline and one fight at a time. And if you don't want to miss a second of what comes next from shocking call-outs to behind-the-scenes drama, make sure you subscribe